Yo, this is Jason with Fix Learn Create, and if you have an RX 330 that has flooded, let me show you why. Before we start the video, I just want to make it clear that this applies for all vehicles with sunroof. All sunroofs have drains that run down the A-pillars and down through either a hose or the body paneling themselves out of the vehicle, typically through the front fenders, kind of the rear of the wheel well, or down through the rocker itself, sometimes through they call it a nipple at the end of this hose, that can also commonly get clogged up with debris. So if you have a sunroof in your vehicle, you are prone to this. It is due to parking under trees, debris buildup, sediment, anything in those lines that is not supposed to be there. It will clog it up, and you will get drains that will backflow into and through the seal of your sunroof itself, so it makes it look like the sunroof seal is leaking. That's not what it is. It's literally your drains are leaking. Your sunroof is supposed to let water in and through the vehicle, through the drains themselves. So it's not your sunroof seal that's leaking, it is the drains that are getting clogged up and not draining well enough, and it's spilling in through your headliner. This is also common if you have a T that goes through kind of like your dash and footwell area. Sometimes you can get some moisture and water through kind of like, you could call it the kick panel, sometimes that way too. And then there is one other cause for wet carpet. It is your AC drains, and I will make another video about that. It has the same common issue, but your evaporator for your AC system sits right behind the dash in the center of the vehicle, typically on the passenger side. The drain, however, runs through most of the time, I should say, the center of the vehicle, and it will drain through a rubber grommet out of the vehicle. Sometimes that will leak as well. What we're talking about in this video is the sunroof leaking itself. But if you have any questions, concerns, comments, leave me a comment below. If you have any advice, any other helpful tips for the community. Other than that, hope this helps. Thanks. Here in the shop, we had to take out the entire interior of this car because it flooded about 3 inches on the front floorboard, a little bit on the back, but we had to take it all out because it had been sitting for a minute. All right, so what the purpose is, your sunroof drains have holes that drain down the A-pillar, down into here, into the rocker. Now, before it gets to the rocker, these actually have essentially a cup, and the water comes down and fills up the cup and then spills over into the rocker panel. What happens on these are that the cup, if you park under a tree with a bunch of debris and all that fun stuff, what happens is it fills up with a bunch of leaves and crap and dirt, and clogs that screen that it lets it spill over, and actually pulls up into the car instead of into the rocker. So in order to fix that, you have to pull this whole block back, and behind here there is a couple holes that you can get to, and pull this back here. And in order to get down in there, you can kind of feel around in there. If you take a lot of the wiring clips off of this panel, which is pretty easy, I mean, just pop them out. The whole fuse block pulls out, and it gives you a rectangle hole, about yay big, and enough to be able to get your fingers down to kind of feel it. But more importantly, the best way is to stick say a blowgun with air, compressed air, and blow it all out. Then
sure enough, if it's already wet, you're gonna get more wet. If it hasn't gotten totally wet, you're gonna have to be a little careful with this next step. Tape off the little holes on the bottom because water will come through. Stick your garden hose down in there and spray full force down in there and wash it all out. And then it will be able to drain fully into the rocker panel and out the little holes it has. And if you have even more trouble, take out these little plugs and it'll help drain that much better. But it will drain right through these little holes here, little pinches. They call it the pinch weld in unibody designs. But if you've got a flooded RX, Lexus RX 330, sometimes 300s, this body style, first check your sunroof drains, pour some water down in there. If it doesn't have this sucking sound like and you don't see it dripping from the rockers, you know you have a clog and you know how to fix it. This is Jason with Fix, Learn, Create. I would appreciate if you like, subscribe, click the little bell notification for the next tips, tricks, I don't know. We'll see. Peace.